you got to know how much time is left in the game. You're adding these extra hydration breaks in. They might leave the clock on during that. They probably don't. They probably turn it off. But how hard is it just to have someone at the scoreboard just turn it off? At the beginning of the game, you turn the clock on. Just, you know what? When the referee blows his whistle, just turn it off. Then blow it again, turn it back on. Not too difficult to do that. 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome to the Pretty Huge Dilemma podcast. Today, we're going to get into World Cup, what's going on, my thoughts on it, things I've seen as just someone watching it, not really having much knowledge of soccer. We're going to get into a blunder that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to recover from, and then just things in my old age that are switching, thoughts I have of different games, what I appreciate, and other things like that. So make sure to tune in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, DM, reach out, ideas to help improve the show. Go watch PHG TV. Go watch Pretty Huge Reviews. All of that. And I gotta sneeze. Ugh. Edit that out. Just kidding. Editing this week, we're going to see how that goes. Now, I'm leaving that in because hopefully you could hear that sneeze because I messed up. I did not have the microphone connected while I was recording. What I used to record this didn't identify the microphone that I used to record this. So I've been trying to edit it for the past 2 days. And to do that, I need an audio file, which I gotta get from either the video thing I use from YouTube, upload it as a draft, get the subtitles that way. And for the past day and a half, I've been trying to get that, thinking, all right, when's YouTube gonna generate it? When's it gonna go? When am I gonna be able to grab this file, upload it to what I need to figure out what clips to put out? Okay. Why is it taking so long? The video editing software I use, when's that going to be able to make me my nose is running. When's that going to be able to make me a text file where I can just read the transcript and get the parts there that I need? And it would be it would take a long time, then it would be empty. I'm like, all right, what's going on here? Restart my computer, that's the issue. Upload another file. Start writing some Python code to do the extraction myself, so that way it's faster. Chat, how do I do this? Claude, download something where you can do this for me. Then I started, after, again, day and a half, started playing the video. And I looked, no sound came out. I checked to make sure the sound on my computer was up, that was going. Nothing. And I go, well, I could either put this out in audio over it and try to guess what I'm saying, or I'm just going to have to re-record. Going to have to try to get the same magic that I had the first time, make the thoughts feel like it's the first time I'm saying them, which you don't know if they are or aren't. I'm hopefully not going to say when I'm repeating something, because to the audience, you don't know if I'm repeating something now, because that file, I have it. You can see my hand motions, things like that, very exclamatory with my motions. I don't think that's the right word for it, but you can see those motions. See me twirling pen, writing things down. But that's not it. And I think I'm just going to do the same topics that I had then. I don't want to make new topics because that episode just gone. There's no real reason to throw away the topics that I used then, unless I think they were just horrendous, the worst, horrible, which I don't think that about my topics. There might be some that are better than others, but they're still topics, things to talk about. Need something to fill out this 30-40 minute chunk of straight content. We're not cutting in and out with ads. We're not promoting other things. It's me talking 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Maybe there's a guest on, but even with that, there's ideas flowing for it. So yeah, some of them aren't going to be the best. They're still ideas I come up with, things I interactions I have with people, things I see out in the wild, and just general ideas, business ideas, ways to improve the world, things like that. Okay, What did I talk about? Nope. Take that back. New idea. Never said this before. All right, World Cup. It's happening. USA gone. Watched 10 minutes of it. Saw the part of the USA versus Belgium game where we were losing 1-2. Then the goalie messed up and Belgium got an easy goal. After that, tuned it out. I think that was the only part of a USA game that I watched. Besides that, didn't really watch them. Didn't have much interest. Different times going on during like business hours. Like, yeah, I got other things to do. I can't just sit and watch USA Soccer. I got other work that needs to be done. Or even if it's on the weekends, I gotta mow my yard. I need to like spray paint part of my yard because it's turning yellow. My first thought was, man, people whose hair starts going white, is this what they feel when they decide to put hair dye in? Do they go, man, you know what, couple patches here, sideburns, things like that, hair dye, cover it up, it'll look better? People might say something, but who cares? It looks better, feel better about it. That might be how I feel about my yard. There's some yellow patches. Go, you know what, just get some like spray paint, some chemicals out here, make it just look good. I don't care if underneath the grass and dirt are just dying a bunch of chemicals from it. I got a countertop reverse osmosis system anyway. I don't care there are a bunch of chemicals in the ground and stuff like that, because you know what, I'm not drinking that. I'm purifying it out with what I got here anyway. So that's going on there. The balding part, I guess the equivalent would be if I started getting dirt patches in my yard. That's probably what the equivalent bald spot comparison is, but I wouldn't fly my dirt out to Turkey to replace that. Oh no, I need my pen. My emotional support pen. I can't get rid of this. I need it. And it's red because the things I write are important. I want them to stick out. But the World Cup, how do you not know how much time is left in a match? How do you have that? How do you have a statement that says we're playing for 90 minutes, and then you know what, we're just going to add a couple minutes on to the end because there were some delays, people faking injuries, arguing with the ref, things like that. So we're just going to add a little bit of time. But we're not going to put that on the clock. We're just going to have someone up in the box just call down to the ref and let them know when the game's over. How do you have that? How do you have that? Just not knowing how much time is left? If there was any other sport that had that, there'd be a lot more arguments about it. And no, this is not a podcast segment where I come in trying to fix soccer. Yeah, soccer, most popular sport overall globally in the world. I get that. But this is just an outside idea from someone who doesn't know the most about your sport. Just an idea, not saying you have to implement this. This will make it so much better. This will fix your game because it's broken. Here I am. Here's your solution. Not saying that. The only part I'm saying is I just want to know how much time is left. If my team's down by a goal and we're in I don't even know, the additional time, the extra 7 minutes, I want to know how much I need to yell at my players to move, at how much I want them to slide tackle the other team, things like that. If basketball, if they didn't have the time where each quarter they say, I don't even know how long the quarters are, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. They said 12 minutes. And then you know what? Sometimes people took a little bit long getting back on defense. The free throws, we left the clock on accidentally, so we're just going to add that back to the end. That'd be crazy. People want to get their 2-for-1 opportunities that they like getting at the end of quarters and at halftime and at the end of the game. That's wouldn't happen. If football, you just went no times, no 2-minute warnings, just the offense have the ball, and when time's up, we're just going to end it. That's what's going to happen. That'd be crazy. You got to know how much time is left in the game. You're adding these extra hydration breaks in. They might leave the clock on during that. They probably don't. They probably turn it off. But how hard is it just to have someone at the scoreboard just turn it off? At the beginning of the game, you turn the clock on. Just, you know what? When the referee blows his whistle, just turn it off. They can blow it again and turn it back on. Not too difficult to do that. And at the end, they might add it all together because throughout the game, they don't want to have people looking too closely at how much time they added. I don't know if there's some kind of log where they said, you know what, we had 7 minutes and this is the breakdown of it. 10 seconds here, a goal scored here, another minute, goal kick here, 10 seconds, things like that. They just kind of group it all together and say, this is what we're adding. Then if a goal happens in that additional time they added, they go, there's a goal. We have to add like 2 or 3 more minutes because they celebrated a long time. How are you supposed to know how much time is left for that? I get the players are going there pushing. They're trying to score, I don't know, somewhat urgently, but they're not maybe not going like extremely all out because they in the back of their minds, they might just think there's always time left in the back of their head. Similar to if you're at a practice and your coach goes, a minute left, this will be one match, this will be the end. Okay, you go all out, listen to your coach. Then at some point, if he's lost that trust and he's added extra time multiple times in a row, you might not go as hard. And yeah, that's might go against what the coach wants. Maybe he wants you to go all out and then add this little bit to like push through that extra wall. I get that, sure. But it's a real human thing where people think he might add more onto this, so I'm not going to give it my all. So that way at the end, I can just give a little bit more there and won't be as tired. That might be what the soccer players are thinking about at the end of the half or the end of regular time for it. Okay, that was one thing. The other fix for it, put the country's names on the jerseys. Crazy idea, just have them on there. You're selling ad space on shoulders. You got armbands for captains, I think. You're selling ads on the sleeves. You got names and numbers on the back. Just put the names on the front. Maybe not all of them, but if you have, maybe the stipulation is if you have the same colors as someone else, put the names on the front. Maybe just a single letter, just something to note that. Maybe put your flag for it on the jersey, because I was watching the Paraguay versus France game. And if you don't know, Paraguay and France have the same colors. They're both red, white, and blue, which I think those are good color combinations for a flag, personally. Well, red, dark blue, navy blue, and white, those colors. But though Paraguay and France, same colors. Their flags kind of similar, and they're playing each other. I was watching this game. I couldn't tell you what players on the team are. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure Mbappe's on France. I don't know any idea of what he looks like. You could line up 10 complete strangers, all different heights, weights, ethnicities, hair color, eye color. Wouldn't be able to tell you which one's which or which one was Mbappe. No clue what he looks like. So, yeah, I know his name unless I see him writing down his name on the back of the jersey. But, okay, that's Mbappe. I don't know Mbappe plays on France. That's a new realization for me. Like I said, this comes from a guy who doesn't really watch soccer. Just, you know what, social thing. Other people are paying attention to it, so I need some sort of talking points. I don't want to be at the water coolers by myself, not knowing what's going on for it. So you're hearing the names. And one team wearing blue. My thought was, okay, blue. Who has blue in their flag where it makes sense? France, okay. Paraguay, also makes sense. Then the other team was wearing a white and a red kit. Get that? Kit, not jerseys. I think I said jerseys 2 seconds ago. Oh well. They're wearing white and red. And I go, okay, who could be wearing white and red? Is it Paraguay or is it France? And this segment's probably going to come back and say Paraguay's colors are not red, white, and blue. Well, that's the impression I got from the beginning. So I was watching these two teams. The announcers really wasn't listening to them. I don't know, they got filled 90 minutes of time. That's a lot. And it has to be somewhat soccer related. It's a lot of work they got to do for it, which, hey, this fills up 30, 35 minutes of time for it. They're not saying this person, they might have been saying Paraguay goal kick, France penalty, things like that, but the sound wasn't all the way up, wasn't fully listening to it, kind of just like there in the background. So I didn't know who was what team for like 5 to 10 minutes. It took me a little bit to figure that out. But yeah, there's some, I don't know, I can't even say some teams have iconic jerseys because the only one I know is Argentina with the white and the light blue. And those are just their country's colors. If there was another country that had those same colors in their flag, maybe it'd be difficult to mix those two up. And the Paraguay, France, if you threw the United States in there, I don't know that they're iconic enough to just know that this jersey belongs to this country. Not for me. Maybe I don't even know what the other ones are. Spain's? I mean, that's just because if I think of what their flag color is. And again, there might be another country with that same flag color. How difficult is it just to put, oh, the Brazil jersey? That's the other one I know. Know that one. But the other one's just put Paraguay, France. How else are the coaches going to say don't play for the name on the back of the jersey, play for the one on the front? Because there is none on the front. Might be some phone company or some AI company or Bitcoin investment firm that's trying to take everything over for it. So the coach can't say play for the name on the front of the jersey because that company might be out of business in a couple months after this. Okay. What are the other ones? The other ones I think are gym related ones. Okay, so go to the gym. I see some of the same people there, even when I go different times on a day, different days of the week, see similar people there. Okay, cool. Somewhat regular people, don't talk to them. No, I got schedule to keep. I can't be standing around talking. I only got 90 to 120 seconds between sets. I can't be just talking a bunch. Let me make sure my mic's on. All right, it says it's on. If it's not, you're not getting an episode this week. I can't be sitting around talking because I'm trying to focus, trying to make sure I get the exercise I need in. Because, like I said, I got other things to do. I got to go back, take care of my house. I got to eat. I got to grocery shop. I got to, I don't know, read, whatever, other stuff like that. So I'm not the best of friends with them. Know a couple people's names. If you go to the sauna, people love talking in there. Well, yeah, love talking and playing music out on their phone, which I've discussed that already. When I go to the gym, if I don't see someone there for 2 weeks, there's a thought in my mind that crosses. It goes, a person could be dead. It's a possibility. If it's a week, okay, they're resting, they're going on vacation, they're not coming in for this week. Whatever schedule change, they got a lot of stuff at work, they got something with their kids. Okay, week, fine. 2 weeks, it's like, man, this guy's like must not be doing well, or he's moved away. So I think about the gyms that I went to and was somewhat consistent going, and the people that I saw, man, I could have been someone's motivation at the gym, and they just gave up because I stopped showing up. They might have thought, I'm sad this guy's not here. He probably died, so I'm not going to go to the gym anymore because that makes me sad. Or they think this guy gave up at the gym, I'll give up at the gym. Need to have like a going away announcement on the door of members recently left. I don't know. You don't want to put your picture on there for security purposes, but so that people know, like, hey, this is my last round. This is my last bench set here. This is my last squat set. This is my last shot on the basketball court. Last racquetball hit. That's it. I'm out. Because people at gym, I don't see them for a while. I don't know their interactions, know what's going on in their lives. And they just could be up, gone, moved, dead. A lot of different things to be going on there. But again, if it's an older person who I see is there, I think either their doctor told them to stop coming, their heart can't take it anymore, or possibly dead. Yep, that's nice and uplifting. Okay, next thing. Gyms that have racquetball courts. Those feel like they're just playing racquetball courts, kind of like in a fishbowl. People are just watching what's going on in there. And it's not, I don't think it's malicious. That's a good word. I don't think it's like a bad thing that they're watching them. You see, whenever you hear a loud sound in public, you instinctively turn and see what's going on. Just on the racquetball court, that's just hopefully consistently happening. Just the ball either against the wall, against the racket, things like that. So between sets, see what's going on, see how the hitting's going over there. And I think as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate the strategy of games more than just the strength of like someone in the game. Where racquetball, yeah, you could hit it as hard as you can and it just flies through. But if you're hitting it right at the guy, then what that might not do as much good as if you strategically hit the ball. That might be why when I was younger and I watched Greg Maddux pitch. I wasn't as impressed with what he was doing. Okay, you would not give up many runs. You go in the Hall of Fame, great. But like you're barely getting 90 miles an hour fastball, and that's not too interesting. I want to see speed. As a kid, I want to see speed. I want to see it throw fast, hard, much movement. I mean, I didn't care too much about that. If it's just hard, fast, and right down like the mound and the strike zone, cool. That's all I need. The strategy part of it wasn't too impressed with it. But now in my older age, and this might be because I apply it to myself, where I don't want to give 100% my effort or strength. Well, let's say 100% strength, because effort, yeah, there's some things where I give that, but if I give 100% strength, I might never recover from that again. I might not be able to give that 100% ever again. But adding if I give 80% of my strength, but I add this little bit of strategy on the side to it that could get me like this win or whatever goal I'm trying to achieve, I might be more interested in that instead of just the 100% effort or 100% strength and just 10% strategy. I'm not sure I'm as much of a fan of that anymore. Just, yeah, I think strategy is cooler for trying to find a way using the rules of that other people might not be as familiar with to gain an edge that just other people can't seem to figure out. Yeah, strength still cool. Seeing ball hit hard, seeing it hit fast, throwing it as fast as you can. Yeah, that's still cool, obviously. But there's a guy who's a little bit older and doesn't have as much strength, but hey, strategy's there. Kind of like, I don't know, you really can't equate to like board games and stuff like that. Just someone's strategy is being better. Maybe I've come just to appreciate that side of games more than just the sheer strength of it. Okay. Then the last gym one. This one happened recently, but this could happen in different parts of life. How do I want to start this? Where do I want to start this at? Who cares? There's a guy, he just brought in a mug, just a handle mug, open air. I don't know how, even if it wasn't a mug, just a regular like water bottle, something like that, and it just didn't have a top on it. I think that's crazy to go into the gym with, because okay, people aren't necessarily spitting straight into that, wiping their sweat straight into that, but it's in the air. The air conditioning filter on this, I don't know what Merv air filter they got there, but they probably got like a single digits one. They probably have like a 5 in there that probably hasn't been changed in months. And they would have to change that for like, I don't know if if you got multiple AC units, if you have multiple air filters. Maybe you do. But I don't think this gym's regularly upgrading that. Why are you bringing up just in like open face mug into this thing? If you're walking around with that mug, you have a certain level of belief in yourself and others and trust that I'm not sure I have or will ever achieve. Because first part of it, you have to have some belief in your trust that I'm going to be able to hold this mug, walk around, not spill it, place it down, not have it break. Because if you break that, like it was a ceramic mug, you're breaking that, making it inconvenient for everyone around you. People are trying to pick up pieces, they're getting shards in their hand. There's no bread around to pick up those shards. That comes from some sort of video where someone told me, read it somewhere, where if you break glass somewhere, to use a piece of bread to like get it, to like pick it up with, like push it down, like it go into there. Because if you use paper towel, like the glass will go through there, cut your hands, stuff like that. So use a piece of bread. But people are trying to pick things up because you placed the mug wrong, you kicked it over. That's crazy. And the other part of it is the belief in other people to not run into you. You can't go around a tight corner. You can't go around a corner tight and another person run into you, bump into you and spill that way. Or believing that they won't come over, kick your mug over and things like that. And I don't know how to describe it. It's just a mug with a handle. Because I know people have like other mugs, like Stanley, stuff like that have like tops on them. This one, just a ceramic type mug for it. I don't know how people go out in public with that because if you're going on a walk, that's just inconvenient to have because having like any water bottle is slightly inconvenient. But if you got one with a top, you can kind of like swing it around, toss it in the air, things like that. You're not as worried about it. But if you just have a mug, you're just carrying that mug around. You got switch hands, things like that. I don't know why you would do that. If you're in office, okay, fine. You're not walking around the entire office with it. You're going like to the break room, to your cubicle, maybe to like a different conference room to like have a meeting with, but you're not constantly going around with it. You're stationary for like 30 minutes to an hour for it. And if in that amount of time, I think you'll drink whatever hot liquid you have in there, which is a different thing. If you're bringing a mug, what are you filling it up with? You bringing coffee to the gym? Sure, people bring coffee to the gym, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't really sound too refreshing to have between your sets. Yeah, you just got done doing whatever exercise, doing a row, and you think, you know what would really like quench my thirst and help me recover? A nice hot glass of tea. No. If you got, yeah, that doesn't sound refreshing. If you got usually coffee to wake you up, I mean, I guess, but like that's gross. You would do that. And then in that mug, it's not like enough to quench your thirst. So you're going back and forth to the water fountain anyway, like in between sets. There's like 2 or 3 gulps you can take of that mug before you gotta go and fill it up anyway. So at that point, why do you even need a mug? You're walking to and from the water fountain so often anyway. What's the point of that? Okay, that's the mug thing. And the other part of it is you have to bring that to the gym. There aren't cars that fit like those mugs in between the seats. The diameter of it doesn't fit in between there. So how are you bringing this from your house to the gym? You're just holding it the entire time while you're driving. I mean, that's a different thing. And seeing it Always Sunny, where Dennis is drinking a bowl of cereal and he spills that. He's like, well, whose fault is this? Is it his or the person that hit him? I'm not sure they ever got to the bottom of that. But you're bringing that to the gym, so you're holding that. And unless you're bringing an empty mug to the gym. Again, at that point, just bring a regular water bottle. Just bring something like that. You don't need a whole mug for it. So yeah, people were having mugs, just open aired mugs at the gym. Menace. Not menace. I don't know why those people are doing it. There's so many different, better options than mugs. Something with a lid. I don't know. Again, I don't know how I have something without a lid. Just everything in the air, the dust, the spit, the sweat, perspiration. Just put some sort of cover on it. Even I don't know. Even my own house, I don't even know if I like having just open aired things to drink out of. This glass. I mean, if there's a lid on it, I don't know. I don't know what the air quality is like in here. If that's enough to put on there. But yeah, having a mug just out in the open, that's crazy. That's crazy that you would do that. It's not, yeah, and if you're filling it up with water and ice, it's not necessary. All right, how I need to form this where I can clip it somehow because this might be one of the clip things. What would be the clip? Should I live go through what I think the clips are? But I don't know how many gym things I want. So I need 4 clips. Real time producing brain. All right, so I think time in a soccer match. That would be a good one. Then we're gonna go not at the gym, possibly dead. Okay, and then we'll have strength versus strategy. Oh, should I make the title and the description here as well? That'd be some real behind the scenes, which I don't know how to figure that out for. Oh, and for PhD TV, I'm thinking of switching it. I'm switching it to something like that isn't just me eating candy and junk food. Because so far I've done Girl Scout cookies, pies, and candy. I think I'm gonna switch to PhD TV. No, not PhD TV. The Pretty Huge Reviews. That's where I got change or thinking of changing. I think I gotta change to something else where it's not just a bunch of food that's terrible for me. Might have to switch that up a little bit for it. Okay, those are things. Mug. If you're just bringing a mug to the gym or any public place, I don't think that's necessary. You have more trust in yourself than I have in myself, and more trust in others than I trust other people. But just find something else to bring. Something with a top on it, something that if it falls over, it's just the liquid that spills out of it, not something that can break. In the confines of your own house, go ahead. Drink out of whatever container or receptacle you want. But in public, especially at the gym, you got some sort of closed container, and I keep repeating that part of it. I might try and stretch this out. Who knows? But I think for being a redo podcast this week, you might be getting a little less. No, I'm going to take that back. You're not getting a little bit less because there were some slightly different things that I know I didn't say in the first go around. Might have left some stuff out, but man, I still can't believe I did that. It's tough. Maybe I should just release the second PHE TV episode, which, man, just playing video games, I just want to play them. I just want to play another one, but I can't record too many weeks ahead because what if something happens? Also, I didn't switch to backyard baseball. Maybe I should have done that, but paying $40 for a game, that'd be, am I just hopping on a bandwagon of this to get support? Well, maybe that's what I need to do to gain support, is do things that are popular in the moment. And maybe that would be helpful. But you know what? I'm not doing that. I enjoy playing Monkey City Balloons thing. I don't even know the name of it. It's not Balloons Tower Defense. It's like Monkey City. I think it's just called Monkey City. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to end the podcast there. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, reach out, DM, grow the podcast. If you have ideas, send them over, and talk to you guys later. Bye.